Hello, dear language enthusiasts. Welcome to HouseLux Estate, your one-stop destination for insightful and easy-to-understand content. Today, we delve into a topic that many find intriguing: how to learn a new language. At HouseLux Estate, we believe in the power of knowledge, and there's no better way to expand your horizons than by learning a new language. It's not just about speaking different words. It's a journey into a new culture, a new way of thinking, and a new way of viewing the world. In this video, we'll guide you through the process of learning a new language, from choosing the right one for you, getting familiar with its nuances, understanding the basics, and finally, the importance of practice. We promise to make it an engaging and enlightening experience for you. So get ready as we embark on this linguistic journey together. Choosing the right language to learn is crucial. It's like picking the right pair of shoes. They need to fit you and suit your style. Now let's dive into the factors that can guide you in making this choice. Firstly, personal interest. Imagine trying to learn a language you have zero interest in. It's like trying to swallow a pill without water. It just doesn't go down smoothly. So choose a language that fascinates you, one that you've always wanted to speak or understand. This interest will fuel your motivation during the learning process. Secondly, cultural significance. Every language is a doorway to a unique culture, a different way of life. If you're interested in a particular culture, its history, or its arts, learning the language can enrich your understanding and appreciation of it. So think about the cultures that intrigue you and consider their languages. Thirdly, job opportunities. In our globalized world, being multilingual can open doors to numerous opportunities. Some languages like Mandarin, Spanish, or German are highly sought after in the business world. If you're aiming for international career growth, learning a second language can give you a significant edge. Finally, travel convenience. If you're an avid traveler or plan to live abroad, learning the local language can make your life a lot easier. It can help you navigate through the city, interact with locals, and truly immerse yourself in the experience. So if there's a country you frequently visit or plan to move to, consider learning its language. As we wrap up, let's not forget that this isn't a one-size-fits-all scenario. Your choice should be tailored to your interests, goals, and circumstances. You might be drawn to the melodious rhythm of Italian, the linguistic challenge of Russian, or the wide reach of English. Remember, the right language for you is one that resonates with your interests and future aspirations. Once you've chosen your language, it's time to get familiar with it. And how do you do that? Through immersion. Now, you might be thinking, what exactly is language immersion? Simply put, it's the process of surrounding yourself with the language you're learning. Think of it as diving into a pool filled with new words, phrases, and sounds, where you're absorbing everything naturally and intuitively. How can you immerse yourself? Well, technology has made it easier than ever. Listen to music in your chosen language, watch movies and shows, or read books. These activities not only expose you to the language, but also the culture tied to it. No need for a plane ticket or a passport, just a good pair of headphones and some curiosity. Remember, immersion doesn't mean you need to move countries. You just need to surround yourself with the language as much as possible. With some familiarity, you are now ready to learn the basics: the alphabet, common phrases, and basic grammar rules. Let's start with the alphabet. It is the DNA of any language. It's the very first thing you should learn. Why? Because it's the starting point to understanding how words are formed, pronounced, and written. The alphabet is your map to navigate through the language. It's important to get comfortable with it, to recognize it, and to pronounce it correctly. Next up, we have common phrases. These are your tools for basic communication. Phrases like, hello, how are you? Thank you, excuse me, and where's the bathroom? Are your keys to opening doors in your new language. Learning these phrases will not only help you in practical situations, but also boost your confidence as you start to see yourself stringing words together and being understood. Now let's talk about grammar. You might be thinking, grammar? Already? Isn't that a bit advanced? But hear me out. We're not talking about advanced grammar rules here. We're talking about the basics. Things like how to form a simple sentence, the use of verbs, nouns, adjectives, and understanding the language's word order. These are the building blocks that will help you structure your thoughts and express yourself correctly. These basic elements may seem overwhelming at first, but remember, every expert was once a beginner. Learning a new language is like building a house. You start with the foundation, the basics, and then you build upon it brick by brick. You don't need to rush. Learning is not a race, it's a journey. So take your time with the alphabet, practice those common phrases, and start to understand the basic grammar rules. Make them your best friends. They will be your companions on this exciting language learning journey. The basics might seem simple, but they are the building blocks of the language. So take your time with them. You've probably heard the saying, practice makes perfect. Well, it's absolutely true when it comes to learning a new language. In fact, practice is the cornerstone of language acquisition. Once you've gotten a handle on the basics, it's time to put what you've learned into use. The more frequently you practice, the more naturally the language will come to you. So think of it this way. Each time you practice, you're laying another brick in your language learning foundation. Now, you might be wondering, how can you practice effectively? Well, there are many ways to immerse yourself in the language you're learning. One great method is using language learning apps. These apps are designed to make language learning fun and interactive. They provide a structured way to learn and practice the language, often using game-like exercises to keep you engaged. Another fantastic way to practice is through language exchange programs. These programs pair you up with someone who speaks the language you're learning, and in return, you help them with a language they're learning. This way, you get to practice speaking and listening in a real-world context, which can be incredibly beneficial. And let's not forget the power of keeping a language journal. Writing in a journal in the language you're learning is a great way to practice and reinforce what you've learned. Plus, it allows you to track your progress over time. But remember, the most important thing is to make practicing a regular part of your routine. Whether it's 15 minutes a day or an hour a week, consistency is key. Don't worry if you make mistakes. They are an essential part of the learning process. Remember, the key to mastering a language is consistency and practice. So keep at it. We've taken quite the linguistic journey today, haven't we? Let's quickly recap what we've learned. Our first stop was understanding the importance of choosing the right language. Remember, it's not just about picking a language that you find interesting or appealing. It's also about considering practical aspects such as the resources available for learning and the opportunities it can open up for you, be it career-wise or personally. Next, we dove into the concept of immersing ourselves in our chosen language. That doesn't necessarily mean you need to pack your bags and move to a foreign country. Immersion can be as simple as listening to music or watching films in the language you're learning, using apps or online platforms, or even making friends who are native speakers. Then, we moved on to learning the basics. We stressed the importance of starting with the essential building blocks of any language: the alphabet, basic grammar, and simple phrases. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is language proficiency. Be patient with yourself and celebrate the small victories along the way. Finally, we emphasized the importance of practice, and even more practice. It's not just about memorizing words or rules, but applying them in real-life situations. Engage in conversations, write essays, read books. The more you use the language, the better you'll get at it. And remember, learning a new language is a journey, not a destination. It's okay to make mistakes, to forget words, or mix up grammar rules. What's important is that you keep going, keep learning, and keep practicing. Thanks for joining HouseLux Estate on this journey. Don't forget to subscribe and share your language learning experiences in the comments below. Happy learning!